Left hand rod, look at that. Oh, that's pulled right round, that has. That hasn't stopped. What have we got here? Oh, that's pulling back. That is pulling back, whatever that is. Wow, what is this? It's certainly a decent fish. Well, good evening everyone, I hope you're all well. So I got up this morning with very good intentions. Got all my tackle ready yesterday afternoon and got it all ready to load into the cars first thing this morning. Got all my bait ready, all in the call box and everything ready. Woke up this morning and looked out the window and it was like a blazing hot sunny morning. It wasn't actually that warm outside. I think it was on about 13 or 14 degrees, but with a very bright sun and a crystal clear sky, I didn't really fancy my chances. So what I done was put all the bait back into the cool box and kept it cool for the rest of the day, and I've planned on coming back out tonight, going to the same venue, and I'm going to drive down there this evening. It's just after 7 PM on a Friday night, so I'm heading for Shingle Street tonight. Going to put the two rods through their paces. I'm possibly just going to fish big fish baits or squid or prawns and stuff like that. Still looking for that thornback for my species hunt, so that's going to be sort of the priority target, if you like. I'm pretty much guaranteed, I would have thought, saying that after my last session, that after dark there's going to be a good sprinkling of whiting. You never know what else. The other thing I want to try and do tonight, if I do get some undersized whiting, I might even try a live bait rig out for bass on one of the rods close in. I know someone who's been doing it recently and he's had a few, and so yeah, that would definitely be on my list if I get small enough whiting or pouting that I can slide down into the gutter and have a go through a bass. So got about an hour and 40 minutes to go to get down to Shingle Street. I should get on with the drive. The intention tonight is going to be I'll arrive at Shingle Street around about 9 PM, I would say. By the time I've unloaded the car, got ready and done the walk, probably be over on the beach ready to fish by about 10 PM. So I've got 2:30 AM in the morning high tide, so I can fish it all the way up, and then I'll fish it all the way down to around 7:30. I think low water's at 8:30, and then head off back home in the morning on quieter roads. So that's the plan. Hopefully I'll see you all in the car park at Shingle Street. Welcome back. I've finally made it to the mark. So I arrived at Shingle Street just on 9 o'clock-ish. So it took a little bit longer. There's a lot of speed restrictions along the A12. So I pooted along. It took nearly 2 hours, but got here okay. Plenty of time. I've wandered over onto the beach and I've done what I said I was going to do. I've made my way about half a mile along the shingle, almost level with the second Martello tower. It's an area I've been told it's worth walking up to. I can see a few little flickering lights in the distance at East Lane, and there's also 3 or 4, maybe 5 people to my left round into the bay right at the back of the car park. So as you can see, I've just slung up the 2 rods, brought me 2 Conti rods tonight, 2 fixed ball reels, Shimano and the Temu, and I'm going to sort out some rigs now. Basically, probably going to fish big fish baits most of the night. I brought a few worms with me, so I might be able to scratch a little whiting, as I said before on the way. I might try a little live bait rig if I get a couple of decent sized live baits. So that's the next thing to do. Just get a few rigs out and get a bit of bait. So before we get into tonight's session, I'd just like to say a big thank you to all my new subscribers during the last video and the Temu reel and the first session, and also to my existing subscribers, and for everyone who's dropped the comments and likes into the videos. It seems like the last one, although there was no fish in it, it was quite popular. So with raising mine, you can see the bait tray there. I've got some little mini squids, got some large king prawns, and I've got a nice bloody herring there. I've got another one down on the chopping board as well. I've got a couple of little blueies, and as you can see there's a wrap of blacks there. If I might try and scratch out a small whiting or two for a live bait. So the first thing to do now is just get a couple of rigs ready, get them baited up and get them out. I'll just show you the rigs quickly. So the first rig going on tonight is the long loop rig, which I used in the last session, and I've changed that back to a 3/0 hook now, because I did reduce it to a 2/0 to put smaller baits on in the last session. But that's exactly what it is. It's a 30-pound hook link, 4 foot long, on the little teed off above the lead. Splash down there, the bait hangs vertically for the cast. The other rig is basically a standard pulley rig, but I've put on there a little circle hook and a dongle, so I'm going to give that a little bit of a try tonight as well, especially again with a raise in mind. Okay, so that's the long loop rig, and as you can see, bait's in the splashdown, hanging upside down, big long loop of line, hits the water, you're left with a 4 foot tail. That's going out on the first rod. Just a nice little gentle flick for starters, make sure everything's bedded in. There we go. Okay, so there you can see the dongle bait for my second rig. That's a little mini squid. There's just a little dongle hook hanging out, and on the other end is just one of those quick clips which I use it to put onto my pulley swivel. So what I can do with that is have another hook link baited up ready to go, and it makes it easy to change it over in between casts. So let's get that one hooked on and cast out. There it is, all ready to go in the imp. Nice little compact squid bait. I'm going to push that out just to the right of the other one. I'll cast them up the top here. Whoops. Haven't got my bearings yet. Bump. I'll check what the tides are in a minute. See where we are with that. That's not too bad at all. So both rods out just after 10, which is what I expected. What I'm going to do now, as I said before, just prep up the next bait on the other dongle, and probably another little herring bait on the needle, so when they come in that'll be a fairly quick changeover time. Right, just checking on my phone, and we've got 3 hours and 50 minutes till high tide, which makes that around about 2:30ish in the morning. So I've got plenty of time tonight fishing that 4 hours up, and then I'll fish it down in the morning to around about 7ish, I would have thought. Yeah, that's away. That left hand rod's banging away now, look. There it goes, yeah. What is that? Just have a look and see what we've got. It's off the bottom. It's not a ray. It might not be nothing. Doesn't feel like that much. Oh yeah, there is a little something on there. Little tap tap thumping. What we got? Oh, what a surprise. First one of the night, and it's engulfed that bait. Stuck it right down. Can't even see the hook. So yeah, let's get him dealt with. Get a new bait on there. a whiting, prime suspect number 1. Right, I've sent that whiting on his merry way, and I've rebaited with another one of the same, herring bait hanging down in the little splashdown. Watch this little slope, it's quite near the edge, and it's a little bit slippery. Might move the rest just over a fraction in a minute, give me a bit more room. While I've been dealing with that rod and that fish, the other rod's been tapping, and it's a very similar little bite as well, a little tapping. So out we go. Feel it down. It'll just about take the tension out of that. I'll leave it a little bit slack if I can. There's not much tide tonight, not much pull anyway. So right, I have actually got the spare hook here for the dongle rig, so I can get that prepped up and baited ready. That'll make it a lot quicker on the changeover. You can see that rod's going, look. I think it's only going to be a small whiting or something. You never know. So, same again. Just nick the little, there's a squid and herring cocktail going out on that one. On the next one for the dongle. So all I've got to do now, when that comes in, is quickly change over the hook link. Clip it in the imp and we're away. That fish is gone, so he must have wriggled himself back in. It's only a little whiting. There we go. Left arm rod. Couple of little taps, bigger taps. And that's on down the plate. Closer in this another white one. That's just dropped off in there as well. What's going on there? And both rods are dancing now, so the whiting are definitely starting to move in. I think I'm going to get that left hand rod in now and put a whole squid on there. See if that'll slow them down a bit. I doubt it. But as you can see, they're starting to rattle those rod tops within a minute or two now. It's only just gone out, that left hand rod. It is. Tiny little one. And it's been on there 5 minutes at least. Right. Now, because there's very little tide pull, what I've decided to do is go with a hybrid style lead now. Same setup, just the legs changed. So I'm going to pop that out. Didn't actually feel as deep out there as it was closer in. Right, both rods have been going ever since I've been baiting up the next two rigs. This one went a bit further and it's got the hybrid lead on, so just tightened up to the lead. I can feel some weight on there now. Does feel quite heavy for a whiting, and I know it's not the lead, so it's actually gone up tide a little bit, that one. Alright, there's a little thump there, just feels a little bit better, to be honest with you. A few little kicks in the edge now, right to the last minute. Oh, here we go. Woof, woof. Woof, woof, woof. Thought that was a ray for a minute. There you go. It's better than a whiting, I suppose. There we go, just checked. Just a doggy. They've been getting a few huss further along at Yarmouth. So you have to check each time now, but there you go. Standard doggy. Let's get him unhooked. Double shot. So that's what I was saying about the flapper and smaller baits. You're going to get double shots like that every time. So still too big for a livey, I think. The bottom one might just make it, but I'm feeling in a generous mood tonight, so he can go back. Let's check where that other line is. Well down to the left. As I say, I am keeping everything at least straight. I'm not going anywhere to my right now because of that snag. Well, just a little update. It's now just come out to high tide, 2:30 in the morning, and I'm afraid the whitening have been relentless. I've had virtually one every chuck, at least the last 10 or 12 chucks, and they're all coming on the big baits. The live bait, I give it an hour, no hits at all, so I put that back on a large herring wrap, and straight away the whiting are jumping on it. Literally, as soon as it is the bottom, you're getting an indication. And then sometimes it's taken 3 or 4 minutes and then there's one on there. I've even had a couple now on the circle hook as well with the dongle. So, and they're taking, and it's lip hooking them perfectly, which is what obviously it's designed to do. So I haven't filmed the last few whiting because there's only so many whiting you can see being reeled in and casting out. So unless I get anything different, I shall carry on fishing through. I've got another probably, I don't know, 4 hours of fishing left. So obviously after the next few minutes we're going to be fishing tied down. There goes the left hand rod again. So there's another one on there. Yeah, fishing it down. I'll fish it down to about 6:30, 7 o'clock and see how we go with that. So it was only a couple of weeks ago I was begging for a whiting in one of our club matches. Just needed one whiting to get on the card and couldn't find one. It's the opposite now, we're trying to avoid them. But there you go, there's a night's fishing. Good little bit of sport. Let's give that right hand rod another little bait change. That has actually not gone in the last 10 minutes, so could well be no bait on that. Just got that nice healthy bend in the tip. With that moon, it's quite a light night. You could actually probably get away without a head torch. Obviously that floodlight's thrown up a bit of light, but I think you could be alright. I won't fancy walking back in the dark, but then again it'd probably just about be light by the time I head back. Right. That's baited, that's the 2-hook flapper that's gone out on there now, and it's got a prawn on it and a bit of mackerel. A chunky whiting. That is a nice one. That's a little mackerel strip, that is. Prawn's gone. But one thing you can say about tonight is the stamp of these whiting have been absolutely brilliant. I mean, look at that. Actually, that's well over 30. Oh, he's off. Quickly stick the measure on him just to satisfy my curiosity. $33. That's a good little point scorer in the matches. 33 centimetres. Look at that. And they've all been fairly big tonight, except for one. Only had one tiny little fish. Both rods going again now. Again. I should sleep well when I go home tonight, or tomorrow morning should I say. That's literally been like that for the last 3 hours. Yeah, to toss up to which one you bring in first. I've got a bait already for the single big hook. Whereas with the flapper rig now, I'm baiting that up as and when. So if the right hand rod, the red rod goes again, I'll get that in first. And the left hand rod's going as well. I have to bring them in soon. I can have a tea break, have some sandwiches and a drink. Slightly smaller one that time. Talked that up, didn't I? It's probably this, well, not the smallest, but the second smallest of the night. just feeling that temperature drop a little bit now. It's been an absolutely gorgeous night. Hardly any swell on the sea. Not a breath of wind. The old dog's still curled up asleep in the back there, not moved all night. Don't blame her. She's got a lovely little comfy spot on her little blanket. No doubt she'll be out for a mooch as soon as it gets light. There's a left-hand rod. That's not the tide. I think we know what that is. Yeah, that right-hand rod's pulled right across now. So casting that out further is picking up a lot more of the tide and it's bringing it round. I might have to put a heavier lead on there. This could potentially be a double shot. Feels like heavy. No, it's just another one big, new species for the night. Prince of the Sea. First one I've had tonight. Lovely little pout. Now that would have made good bait earlier on. Probably a little bit big. But that's the sort of thing that would make a very good live bait for a bass. But they're all going back tonight. Here he is. Some fantastic colours on that. Can't really see it in this light, but yeah, really lovely markings. Right hand rod. Come on. Nice slow pull down and a drop back. Instead of that, the left hand rod's going to beat into it again. Those little strips of mackerel going straight away. So I think in a minute I'm going to take that flapper rig back off and put another big fish rig on to fish out the rest of the session. Left hand rod, look at that. Oh, that's pulled right round, that hasn't stopped. What have we got here? Oh, that's pulling back. That is pulling back, whatever that is. Wow, what is this? It's certainly a decent fish. It's got to be a ray. That's on a tiny little mackerel strip, size 2 hook, flapper rig. I was just about to take off. I think this might be target species. I'm not going to count my chickens. And that's what that rod should have been doing. It just shows you that these bigger fish do often take a smaller bait. Where are we? Hopefully you can see this all right. Now, this is a test because this is the Temu reel. So, I don't know how smooth this clutch is going to be. I may also flick the anti-reverse off and back wind if it starts to go. Still haven't seen it yet, it's coming in quite close now. Almost certainly got to be a ray. Don't know what else would be doing that. Feels a good fish, but then again it's in a bit more tide now. I haven't got a lot of beach to work with here, and normally you've got a bit of beach to pull them onto. There's still quite a slope there, so I might have to get down near the water. Still haven't seen her. Just check that clutch here. Right. Just about to see the leader knot now. Still haven't seen no fish yet. It's right in the edge now. The leader knot's just about to reach the tip ring. Let's have a look. It's got to be a ray, surely. Oh, 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 oh. Yeah. Nice little thorny. Get him on the beach. Hold him. Tide's gone back. I'm about to get down there and get him. Excellent. Mission accomplished at last. And look at that, little size 2 Arno Hooks, just inside the mouth there, only just. And look at that, how easy that's just come out. That was hanging on, it wasn't hooked. And basically that's the other hook. I can get untangled from that. That's the other hook, and the size of the hook bait, that's just took like a 1/4 inch strip of mackerel, and that's turned into if I can get him to open out. Well pleased with that. That's made the night. Get through the whiting, eventually you'll get what you want. Well, there you go. Finally got me thorny off my species hunt list. After putting on all those ray baits, I put on a little strip of mackerel to catch myself maybe a whiting or a pouting, and this picks it up. You couldn't make it up, because I've just been popping that one out about 35-40 yards, and there's another whiting on here. As I say, the stamp of them can't really grump. Another chunky one. Dongle rig, just to prove it is starting to work. Persevered with it, and eventually I've started hooking a few fish now. Another clonker. Okay. Another doggy. And quite a little mixture of species tonight now. He's took the mackerel strip. I just switched him over. I put the herring on the bottom and the mackerel on top that time, so you can see that. Nicely lip hooked. Plenty of hook showing. Push it out a bit further. Yep. Just see the line lowering down onto the beach. And the brilliant thing about tonight is the size. The top one's probably a little bit sus, but that's probably, the other one's about average tonight. 28 or 30. Squid head. Right, it's just up to 6 o'clock now, and I can just see the first start of the daylight right in the distance there, over in the east. Just starting to break daylight. I'm probably going to fish on for the last half an hour. I've got one more cast on each rod, one more set of baits for each rod to go out, which I'm now going to do. Just want to sum up really tonight. So, good start with the whiting early on, and then we had the little appearance of a dogfish. We've also had pouting, and then the ray turned up. So that was a bit of the highlight of the night. That was on my species hunt list, and I've been after one for 2 or 3 weeks now. So I finally knocked that on the head. Quite busy when I first got here. 7 or 8 people I would have thought to my left, and I could also see 3 or 4, maybe 5 groups up at East Lane as well. So quite a busy evening. A really pleasant evening as well. I don't think the temperature's got much below 12 degrees tonight. There was hardly a breath of wind when I got here. It's just a slight breeze now. You can just feel that little bit of a chill in that breeze, but obviously tucked into the shelter you don't feel that. The other thing obviously tonight, I'm sort of gone on about it all night, but the Temu reel has been through its first real test tonight with fish and casting and retrieving, and luckily as a bonus it was that rod and reel that picked the ray up. So bringing that ray in, I could feel it was pumping and hugging the bottom, put quite a bit of stress on the rod and reel, coped with it brilliantly. The clutch, as I said to you I think before, it's a lot smoother than I thought it would be. But what I would say is, as it's got damp tonight with more use of water spraying off the reel, casting and reeling in, water has got into those discs, and it does slip a little bit, so you have to tighten it up a lot more than what I did when I first got it. Apart from that, it's performed pretty well. I can actually feel the difference when you're reeling in, say, a double shot of whiting. You can feel the reel not grinding, but you can feel play in various bits. Definitely in the handle you can feel a little bit of play, and you can get a bit of spool wobble as well as you're bringing it in. When I was bringing in empty casts earlier on, you could actually feel the wobble quite considerably with no load on it. Apart from that, it's still in one piece. That's the main thing. I should get it home, give it a wash, check it all over, make sure there's no screws or bits and pieces come loose, and then carry it on going through the winter. But for its first test tonight, a proper test with fish, passed with flying colours. Dog's now beginning to stir. It's about 7 o'clock she normally gets fed, but I'm going to feed her as I'm packing up to give her time to get her food down and digested before we get in the car. And then we've got the little matter of between an hour and a half and an hour and 45, I think it'll be on the way home. It should be less traffic. So all in all, quite a pleasant session tonight, and I finally had a ray off a Shingle Street. It took me 3 visits with the camera to get one on camera. I've come in between times with no camera and had them every time. So sometimes it is a bit of the curse of the camera, but there you go. That's ticked off now, that's done, and we move on. Where I'm going to be next time, who knows? You know me, spur of the moment, I just get a plan in my head and it all goes out the window with weather conditions, road conditions, etc. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you again on the next one.